Alright then. Greetings, YouTube internet place. So, last time this VM saw MUGEN, it was pretty damn destroyed. So, this time, I guess I'll do something a little more safe and a little less destructive. And also something that will probably be a little bit not so complicated. So, yeah, I guess this. So, now what I'm gonna do here is I've got my tiny install of WinMUGEN. It's just a tiny HD WinMUGEN exe and all this stuff, whatever. So, what I want to do here is just mess around a bit, see in what ways I can break the game. Now, here we've got LBLJ, the character that executes all this stuff through mysterious means. So, how does this character work? Well, you can kind of see it if you just look at all the files. This is the stuff that gets loaded after. Doesn't matter right now. Here's the start. We load player CNS, player CMD. CNS file, well, it's a CNS file. It's got all the CNS, it's got all this stuff in it. Shift-JIS does not work in Notepad. It's great. Got that file. But what matters here is this ST file. Does stuff. And yeah, it's loaded all the way at the bottom. And when it's loaded, well, it's got this here, which I guess this has some kind of meaning. Then it has this entire like block of text here, which can be basically anything. So the spaces at the end can also be modified. However, this can't be modified through a regular text editor, as far as I know. When I tried it just broke. And then this here, I'm guessing also means something. And then it's just got this huge block of stuff. And now this, I'm thinking, is assembly and causes the character to do stuff. Now, most of it is basically useless when you look at it. But over here we have C chars, which is the characters folder, and we've got a slash LBLJ slash U.bat, which is this, which is what launches another batch file, which is then what launches other stuff. And then this starts the VBS file, which is just a declaration of victory, which, I don't know, it's not in the game. And then there's all of this. What this does is, once you enter the character name, it tries to copy, it just types this file into the other file. Problem is, here's the thing. This, %name %. I think this is where the problem with characters with spaces in their names comes in. Because when you have a space in the string, I think it'd have to be enclosed in quotes, because otherwise the command just breaks. And so that's why it would go throw errors for each file, because it cannot do that if if it just tries to throw a space in code that doesn't handle it properly. Then we've got this %name %. You know, usual, decrease the second player's life, keep yourself at full health, you know, the cheap stuff. It does some stuff. Anyways, this is the file of interest, because what this file does is actually execute this batch file. Now, I'm going to make a backup of this file, call it -2, and I'm gonna run this on a test character. Now I've got Minesweeper here, doesn't really matter. Let's copy Kung Fu Man, call him Kung Fu Man 2. Probably there's a character using that full name already. Select not def, and we get kfm2/kfm.def. Now, this is also something that actually breaks this code. Because you see, the definition file it replaces is name, and then the definition file would have the same name. So if the file has a different name, the character actually doesn't get replaced in the roster, which is also a way in which you could actually circumvent this. But since the health is still set to negative whatever, I don't know exactly how that would work from there, but maybe it'll work. I don't know. Could work. Anyways, let's just run the game, right? Oh, wait, I forgot to actually get LBLJ in here. LBLJ. Right. So, run the game. We've got our super awesome nameless Mario that closes the game, right? Now I've got the batch file run, which is run through another batch file. It's kind of ridiculous. Now, KFM2, let's go into the characters folder and see what happens. And it places all those files there. And then it does this, as usual, speed it up, Control S exists. It changes the name, of course. But we still have kfm.def, because it cannot replace the definition file. So we have kfm2 and kfm. This is modified. So actually, no, it actually runs the modified definition file. Oops. So yeah, no, you'd have to like have it load the main one somehow, or something. Complicated stuff. Whatever. Anyways, so this, we've got the characters folder being loaded, right? What if we wanted to have it run a different batch file? Now, of course, we can just go in here, go remark, change the running of the other file to a remark. Oh yeah, also, here we go. Character's still live, but it was defeated, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, if we just change it to a remark, it doesn't start the other file, and the character's defeated. But I don't really think that's that nice of a solution. So instead, I want to see what I can do with this. Now, it's a lot more complicated here. That's why I have the backup. So, what if we, instead of u.bat, we wanted to run i.bat, lowercase I, because reasons. And now we go over here. Instead of this, let's rem nope. We go to A, echo, LBLJ does not win. Now what if we wanted to run this? Well, we've got the batch file referenced here. Change the u to a lowercase I, and now we try to run the character. Oh, it actually works. Last time I tried this, it didn't work, and it just broke. I guess somehow this time it works. So yeah, basically, now I've made it run a different script. You can do this. This is a thing that you can make the character do. You just change what it executes. This is rather simple, because the actual path is in here in plain text. So, say, for instance, we wanted to have it run Minesweeper. Well, that's exactly what I did when I made that character. I wrote mine, and then we, where's this it? E. Mine I dot bat. Change the bat to CMD. Now, what does this character's batch file do? Well, if we open it, it's got WinMUGEN.exe. I was asked, is this character malware? Well, I'm running around here, so, you know. It just starts WinMUGEN.exe. Down here we have the entirety of Windows XP Minesweeper converted to a batch file. It's stupid, but it works. And so, the character isn't even on the roster, But if we run this, there it is. It extracts Minesweeper, and now you can play WinMine instead of WinMUGEN. It works. What do you expect? It's Minesweeper. You don't lose your computer for losing either. It's just Minesweeper. It's literally just Minesweeper. Now you can do this with anything, like for instance, of course, malware, but I do not recommend you to do that because that would be bad. After all, yeah, that would be destructive, and if you were to do that and sneak the malware into the character and share it around, that would be even worse, because that would be kind of probably the ending of just downloading characters for WinMUGEN peacefully. And, well, anyways, I'm just gonna delete this. It's a tiny zip. So, yeah, this, it's a thing, I guess. Let's try changing this. Like, let's change this to like 6969 there. Now, will it execute? Yes, yes it will, and Minesweeper is still running. So this string can just be replaced. So that's the thing. Now, I was messing around a little bit before, right, with the running of other stuff. Let's mess around even further. So, we've got our character running, get this out of here. So copy LBLJ. Let's have it run u.bat. Now let's just get rid of this UA. So we just have it run the batch file. And in this batch file, let's get rid of all of this. Let's instead look in here. We take this here, WinMUGEN.exe, LBLJ, actual character. It loads the right character that time. cd.not, color is 0A because I can. And now, what if instead of loading LBLJ actual car, we just loaded LBLJ. After all, the game wouldn't possibly be fine with just loading the same character again, twice, right? Now, here's what happens, alright? So, now when I run this character, the character will run the batch file, which will run the game with the character being loaded, and so that will run the character's code, which runs the batch file, and then this happens. Okay, that's not what I wanted to happen. I thought it would actually work. Damn. Thought this would work. Pause, see what the hell happened. So. Okay, well, get rid of that, okay? There's the problem. There is the problem. Don't pause or it's just gonna end up with a bunch of finished command prompts. So, now, the character runs the batch file, which runs the game with the character, and it just goes over and over. And this is what happens. That's right. The character is now stuck in an infinite loop of trying to run itself, and it's technically succeeding, but the game isn't exactly having a great time. You can try to close the game, but it's actually kind of really fast, so it's kind of annoying, because now you've just got an infinite loop of the game which runs the batch file, and the batch file which runs the game. So you want to kill the game with Task Manager, because closing it will just prompt WinMUGEN's usual weird, do you want to really close this fighting game? You want to lose your fighting progress message, so you just want to get Task Manager. Anyways, that's useless, but let's get into something a little more useful. Here is a little character I threw up. A little character called Code Fu-Man, based off of a card in Antimalware the game. It's kind of dumb, really, but there it is, with all the hacker background and everything. The character itself doesn't actually do that much. It's mostly in-game, it's just Kung Fu Man, and the higher palettes have like a bunch of palette effects thrown on there. But it works, I guess. You can have a blue one, you can have a red one if you want. If I can run it right there. It's red. He does Kung Fu Man things, except he's red. So, you know. What's important about the character, though, is in the display to clipboard section, the bottom left. You've got a bunch of stuff in there you can do. We can go up, we can go to the right like this, you know. And basically, you might be wondering, just like, what is this doing? Why is it showing a bunch of numbers? Well, you might have heard of a little bug, the display to clipboard %N thingy that was also used in LBLJ. I forgot which file was. No, not that one. This. Yeah, down here. You see this? Display to clipboard. All of this stuff. It's got a parameter 4931593. You've got the same thing, but one less. And it's all got 128U % and all that. This is writing to the game's memory. And it's pretty powerful. Though I don't really know everything about it. What I do know is how to kind of basically use it. So, over here, oh, the game froze. Perfect, yeah, great job. It does that sometimes, I don't know why. The VM just doesn't like the game, I guess. Anyways, load Code Fu-Man, load the game. So, over here, I want to set it to 4939693. Let's get calculator up. So, 4939693. Hex is this. This is go to address. There. This place over here. So, go there. Change this 9693. Now, what happens once I have this set is now I can press the taunt button and it will write to that area. As you can see on the right, it's changing the value. The game, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be liking it very much, so I'm just gonna try and just power up and try and trigger some palette effects. There, now we can actually kind of see what's happening. So now, you can see that the debug display is blue, and now the entire game is blue. I don't know exactly how it works. But what I do know is that writing here breaks stuff. Not that useful for making overpowered characters, but it's useful for making fancy effects, I suppose. I can enable a flag which causes it to automatically just write there every frame. Which, I mean, it does that. That's really all it does, I guess. Press right and that, and now it's changing it every frame. Now I can press this, and now it's changing it to a random value every frame. Why? I don't know. It can do it. And apparently that just kind of fixes most of the things. Not all of them, though. And yeah, I mean, that's really just what it does. Breaks pallets and breaks them a lot. So we've started the round. Seems to be mostly normal. Probably could have made the variables down there not reset. That would be probably a good idea. Maybe the freeze variable should reset that. Don't want the game to immediately continue doing stuff when maybe you wouldn't want that. So maybe I should fix that. And yeah, basically you just kind of now can do all the stuff that Cheat Engine can do. Like writing 69 in here. But you can do it in the game, and it's, yeah, that's kind of what the character's made for, just messing around. Oh, and now everything's magenta. Perfect. And if we change the value 1 to the right, it completely screws up all the colors. Probably because it set this to 0, 0. Now, I don't know how stuff works. I think it's something with the move function. But it kind of sets everything 3 to the right, like this, to 0 as well. So I'm guessing that's what the problem is there. And now we've got funky colors, and the background also is not going on. The floor is really awesome and stuff, and everything's just all really weird. But then once I do palette stuff, it kind of fixes it. So now I've got, like, broken colors, I guess. Hit sparks as well. It's all rainbow colored. The bars at the top are really awesome, specifically. Look at those. They're fancy. And not that much interesting. And I press escape and the game stops working because it really doesn't like that. So, you know, it's unstable. You don't want to do this and expect it to work all the time perfectly. But yeah, the character writes to memory. It's kind of what it does. You can control it. It's a little different from how most characters do it, where they just kind of write and the game just suffers through it. Because here I've just got a bunch of code that lets you actually choose what you want to do. This is the main thing, and I'm gonna copy it into this extra. State def -2. I don't know if I'm doing this right. And I'm just gonna get rid of this, get rid of this. Trigger 1 equals 1. This, and variables. I forgot what variables they were. Here we got 4, 93, 96, 93. And over here we have random plus random plus random. Because one random just ain't enough. We need 3 of them. And now, if I start the game with the character, as soon as it gets into the game, it should be doing that, you know. Should be like doing the broken palette stuff in the background. I don't see it doing much, but I don't know. Maybe I screwed something up, I don't know. I just start this again, I guess. MUGEN, memory view, the address. I don't have the address anymore. Game froze. Apparently that just happens a lot. Damn. Well, yeah, I could probably just figure this out before recording because I'm really bad at doing things, so I end up having to do the same stuff 50 times in a row. But it's somewhere here, maybe, I don't know, bring up calculator. Alright, so we're way off. Okay, it's not, in fact, writing there. Actually, it is not writing there at all. Which is weird, because it should be. So, I don't know what the hell happened there. Then again, when do I know what is happening? Just change it back to this. And hope this works. No, no it isn't. I don't know how stuff works, so I'm just gonna go over here and I was hoping that it'd work, but it didn't, and now I just do it this way. There. Now it's doing it in the background. Now all the colors are all grayscale, and the clipboard in the bottom is having a lot of problems. But, you know, the game still works, I guess. You can do the attacking, it works. You can restart the round, it fixes it, probably temporarily, I would assume. Oh, and now everything's slightly cyan down there. Oh, and now everything's really bright. It's kind of what this does. It's just really funky. It just breaks the colors in all imaginable ways. It's so weird. Of course, if I wanted to, I could just go into cheat engine right here, but okay, it seems this being changed does stuff sometimes. And then if I write stuff over here, it also does this, except differently, and I can kind of control it, but not really, because I have no idea how it works. Okay, well, that's black. And now we're even darker. Oops. Okay, well, I can kind of see some of these being good. You know, it would be, except this here would have to be modified for that. And I don't know any other better techniques, but I do know that if you try to modify this, oh, it actually worked. Well, usually when I try this, the game just crashes immediately, so isn't that just perfect? I like the color scheme on this, actually. Look at it. Look at him. He's got low color mode. Okay, yeah, there it is. The game crash. I told you it was gonna happen. So yeah, game dies. Can't really do much about it. It would be awesome, but sadly, then it crashes, so, you know. But yeah, you know, this can be kind of used for writing to memory. Hell, if someone's bored enough, they can use it to, like, I don't know, make Bad Apple in memory if they were bored enough. I don't know how well it would run the game, though. Might be a little bit too much code and stuff. I mean, all you'd have to do is find a region that can be modified without, like, dying. But, yeah, that is the thing. I don't really know how to do the MUGEN coding very well, but I know how to do this, and it's useless, so yay. You can destroy VMs with it. It's not going to be that useful, though. I mean, wow.
Round one.
Anyways, another thing that you can do, that I've seen some characters do, change text, like the wins text. So let's just search for wins and forget to actually focus WinMUGEN. Wins. Here we are. And this is not what I wanted to do, so yes. Okay, explore this memory region. That is the Windows stuff. No, this one. I don't know how stuff moves around in this though, but here we are. This is the part where you get the win string, like, you know, this one, the usual one, the one that goes code foo man wins.
Round one.
So here for instance it's %s wins, and the %s is then replaced with whatever character wins. Like there, for instance, you can kind of just see that as man wins because reasons. But what if I were to change this? Well, I could. I'd do it from in-game, but that would be really slow, so I'm just gonna go change this 0-0 to a 2-0, a space, and immediately win the round. So, Code Fu Man wins, and it seems to have repeated it again, which is a thing. So the rest of this region is mostly just a bunch of zeros, which is why I guess it just kind of does that. And then if that 0-0 was changed to a space, it just takes all this after the string and it moves it. So what all can you do with this? Well, for one, you can paste a few %S's because you can. Ain't no one stopping you. And it just does that.
Round 2.
Oops, I do not know how code works. I only know what breaks the game, and this Code Fu Man. I don't know how it works. Let's just write something else, like the definitely spaces don't want to work. Thanks, cheat engine devs. No, I don't want to change that to a 2. And wins! Exclamation mark. Now when we kill him, Code Fu Man definitely wins. Definitely, look at that. 3 wins. Perfect. So yeah, now it just does that. And you can basically do this for any string. Time over, time gamer. Let me press a 5 and it goes time gamer. It's stupid, but you can definitely do it. You can also modify stuff like the fight string, but it doesn't seem to actually do anything anytime I've tried. Also stuff like rush, which this character isn't very good at, as far as I know. Yeah, this isn't very... Oh, there it is. Alright, let's change that to rush B. If I can actually write there. So now, if I do this, rush B, for rush B. You can also just make it just a bunch of exclamation marks. 2. You can keep going with this, actually, I think. Let's see how many W's I can fit in here before the game has problems with me overwriting whatever this 1E was. I don't even know what it is, but it's not there. There it is. Look at that. It's a big old string of text across the screen, right up to the middle. Of course, it doesn't change when it actually unloads. So when it goes to the left, it actually disappears really quickly. So here we have around %I, which is the round number, and then it has a 0-0. Change that to 2-0 and copy the %I and the space, and just keep pasting that. I've actually played around with this a little bit before, and basically what ends up happening is it just goes round random numbers, and then it has all these numbers leaking out into memory. So you can kind of just do that, and it'll just write a bunch of numbers. And the game is fine with it at the start, but if you go too far, you can kind of see it kind of overwrites a lot of stuff. And now it still goes fight, and you can like fight, you know, you can see all your W's on the left. But if I take all of this, like all of this, from here all the way to here, it's got zeros again. Just get rid of that. Just write all of this. Now there's quite an area here until it gets to fight, which I'm guessing once it overwrites that is where problems start. But here we go. Bunch of numbers. And now all of this just goes way down. Then it starts to just write zeros. And after it does this, the game is actually just broken. Because I'm guessing the game just doesn't like something that it just overwrote. So now, it doesn't show the round number, and it doesn't, like, do anything like that. It just stands there. The intro is forever. You can skip it. Well, I just did before, but now it doesn't seem like it wants me. Oh, no, wait, actually you can. It just doesn't, like, play the fight sound. Sometimes, apparently, it just doesn't even, like, do the transition. It's weird. But, yeah, it's very broken. If we just change this here to just zeros straight away. Things. Apparently nothing happens. Let me just get rid of all this real quick. Just zero out the entirety. Just to get rid of everything. Now what happens here? Now we've got like a bunch of numbers, you know, all the stuff you'd expect to find in this part. Oops, I put a V. Don't want to have a V there. Just gonna clean up all these numbers. You know, the meaningless ones. It goes all the way down here. Now, let's try again. Well, there we go. This is the intro. The intro's happening, but it doesn't have any visual indicator. They just stand there until suddenly you have control. And you can skip it, but while it's going, you just can't move, and then suddenly, that's when it gives you control. It's kind of weird, and it doesn't have the fight or anything either. It's just done. When you win, it immediately like skips playing a sound and like a slowdown and all. It just kind of goes, and it just skips all that stuff. Like if I just do this, poink, slap, restart, and like it didn't actually like make me win or anything here. Like I can do this, it doesn't slow down, and then the entire round restarts. And I can win many times. Look at that. And there's a bunch of empty icons, and there's a perfect victory, and it's just empty again. I don't know what's happening, but the game doesn't seem to like it very much. And it's kind of weird. Like it doesn't do like a slow fade out either. It just does it as if you pressed a 4. This is really weird. I haven't really experimented that much with this, but it does stuff. Just have no idea what it's doing that makes it do this. So yeah, let's put a few % eyes in here, see if that does anything. There we go, 240, awesome. Ain't that just the most awesome 240? Let's paste a few more. Like, you know, just like this many. Yeah, let's see what happens. Oop. Alright, well, that happens. So yeah, you can break the game in many ways. I'm mostly just messing around breaking it, but maybe some of this can be useful somehow, but I don't know. Most of the times that I break the game, it's not even anything useful. It's just like Minesweeper. Like why you play it from MUGEN. Why make MUGEN restart infinitely. That kind of stuff. It's useless, but it's fun. I kill MUGEN. So one thing I've actually done with the Minesweeper character as a test is the same thing. Just get rid of this. We just go copy the code from over here. No. This one. just nothing but going echo off WinMUGEN.exe mine. Now I think this is actually faster because Minesweeper is a smaller character. And so, I think I might have to, throw the character on the roster first. Mine. And now, when we load the game, we've got Minesweeper. But it's not Minesweeper anymore, because now, all it does is restart the game infinitely. You kind of can't do much about it. It just kind of does it. Sometimes the game actually takes a while. Like it pauses when you don't have it focused. Which is kind of interesting. I guess that's just normal MUGEN pause. Oh, but actually if you just left and enter really quick, you can still close it. It's not that useful. Here's a log. All it's doing is mine. Okay, yes, initialize in-game variables. Oops, restart. Do it again. And, it's not useful, but it's broken. And, yeah, it's kind of just all it does. It's not that useful, really. It's just kind of that. Still, it's kind of fun to play around with movement like that. But, yeah, I've seen a few other characters that do some interesting stuff. Of course, normally the focus of this stuff is more on defeating the enemy, but you can make some visual stuff happen. Like, I've seen one that just turns all the colors black and does weird stuff. I've seen one that makes the menu background not appear. I don't know how that works, but I think palette effects is carryover something. Because it was in MUGEN 1.1 as well. I don't know how exploitable those are. But yeah, it's mostly I just like having stupid side projects like this. So, yeah. Destroying a VM is just kind of not that interesting if you're doing it for the 1000th time, so. Yeah, I don't really want people to spread, like, that kind of character around, because that'd just destroy everything, and probably wouldn't make the community a very nice place to have an actual malware war. But, I don't know. Just having it be a thing is interesting enough for me, and really, like, I am just kind of curious, like, what is there really, and what's just made up in the MUGEN community. Like, oh wow, here's a character that spreads because it's malware, but does it really? Like, no one ever actually, like, uploads a Danawakt 1 kind of video going like, here's my MUGEN character, here's 2 Windows XP machines, watch it use like a Windows XP exploit. No, you never see that. It's always just, here's my character with like spooky background music. This character will destroy your hardware. Trust me, because I am definitely not just putting effects into the game and saying things without actually giving any proof or anything. I have ruined many motherboards and stuff, but I do not tell you about this with any evidence. I just say it because I claim that it is true. Like, really? Is it true? I don't know. Maybe. It could be. Or it couldn't. Like, I don't know. But it just seems like if you're going to make such tall claims, like, I have destroyed a machine with a MUGEN character, at least prove it. Because, like, I did it, and I proved it, and it wasn't even that hard. All it took was to go find some random malware sample, throw it into a batch file, have it extract it. Because, I don't know, it just happens that a batch file can do that, and the character was already doing that. So I thought might as well use a batch file, just because exe to batch is kind of interesting. So I just threw them all in there, run the batch file, which runs exe, which runs everything else automatically, and there you go. That's what you have. Like, it's that easy. You just kind of, you know, just record a video of a VM being destroyed that way. Can't be that hard to just, like, wow, here's a video of a VM with malware suddenly spurting out as soon as MUGEN character is loaded. Like, if you're gonna make claims, like, you can at least, like, try to do it and, like, make a video of it. Hell, even if you fake it, it's more impressive than just saying, hey, wow, here's this thing that I totally did, but then never give any proof. Like, all the malware, like, the anti-malware characters, like, those, are they real? I don't know. I've never seen them do stuff. Like, it's kind of just, Like, they could be real, but I wouldn't really know because I don't have any, because they're private. Like, does it stop WannaCry? I don't know. Like, so far, I've seen exactly one malware be stopped, and even then, like, it could be real, it could be fake, but if it's anti-malware, you're not giving it to anyone who can make dragon tears allegedly. Like, it's just completely private. You're just making it a personal antivirus, or what? I don't really get it. Like, what is it exactly that is being accomplished there? If you're just, like, making something that has all these awesome, super real claims to it, but then it never actually, like, has any evidence. Like, you just go, trust me, I did this, really. Like, look at this. I can do this. I made this character. It's crap. Like, this is literally just a batch file. Ooh, you can see the starting part of this, like, malware sample stuff. No, I'm not going to scroll down further. I mean, this thing is pretty big. Like, this is a megabyte batch file. Like, ooh, wow, I made this. It can destroy your computer. Look at me. I've got a character that can do that, right? I made a real super epic character. Real. No, really, real. Like, actual. But, you know, I'm not showing you a video of destroying the computer or anything. No. Like, they don't even ever try. Like, I'd not be so skeptical considering I've been able to do it myself, but, like, if it's so easy, like, why don't you just, like, if you've used 50 motherboards to test your character, have you never thought of holding up your phone and recording it, like, doing stuff on the computer, not starting after? Even if it's just raw footage, good enough. Nobody will care. Because you managed to do something awesome. Like, look at this. See this? I can do it too. Wow, look. I'm running mathrusb.exe asterisk 32. Do you want to press yes on this program? No. No, I don't. And now that I press no, everything is fine, because that's how the character works. It requires admin. If it doesn't get admin, it doesn't run. Yeah, here we've got the match file. We've got, like, a bunch of random malware samples. Sure, it's lazy. I didn't really actually make those malware samples myself. But it's meant to be, like, a proof of concept. You can definitely do this. The VM's fine right now, by the way. None of the malware actually ran because I pressed no. But still, I could have pressed yes. Hell, I could do it right now. I could run this. Look at this. Do I want to make changes to this VM that I've cleaned, just reset to nothingness and thrown WinMUGEN on? What if I do? Like, yeah, I can destroy VMs with the character. And I can make a video of it. Which is, like, literally what I did before. I'm just kind of confused why no one else would, like, do that. Like, you're not showing the source code in the video. All you have to do is, like, open the game, run the character, and be like, here's what my character can do. Boom, explosion, awesome computer destruction. That's it. You've proven it. That's literally, basically enough. Like, that is literally all you have to do. And everyone will just be like, wow, it's real, actual. That's what I did. The character doesn't use WinMUGEN exploits to destroy stuff. All it does is use WinMUGEN exploits to execute something that will destroy stuff. And that's like even that is already satisfactory. If you can do that, you might as well like prove it. See this? This is wider. This thing destroys stuff. This thing deletes everything it can reach. It's basically the core of the entire thing. I'm not going to run it, obviously, but it's literally a malware sample. You know which malware sample it is now. You know the name. You can Google it. You can be like, oh yes, it is indeed a Trojan that deletes everything. That's literally what the character does. It runs that, and there you go. The character has deleted everything. And if your character deletes everything too, so be it. But, you know, you could just show it actually doing that. Like, I've done that, and yeah, it does that. It wasn't that hard to show. If yours does it, yeah, you don't have to share your malware. I'm not sharing wider, because it's just an old malware sample for Windows 98. But I can share that it's in here, because it's just old malware. Antimalware-tier has reviewed it. And it destroys this VM just the same as your character could. I don't need to show you the source code. And neither do you need to show the source code. Just show what you actually made. Like, show what you've actually, like, accomplished from MUGEN. And if it destroys the VM, good. That's what you're claiming you can do. And then you can take that video and be like, yeah, I'm not lying. I did it. See for yourself. That's what I did. Took a video. I didn't even edit it. I literally just sped up a little bit. Just because it was really long. Probably like this one's going to end up being. Because like I've just been messing around with MUGEN for ages. Oh my god. It's almost been an hour. Holy crap. Time just flies. I'm too bored all the time. But yeah. Basically, if you're gonna claim that your character can destroy a computer, you can prove it. Like, just throw it on a VM or anything. It's not going to make people mad that you're using a VM. That's what I do, because it's just the safest way to handle that. I don't want to lose my passwords and everything. But I'm not too upset about losing a VM to it. Because, like, that's the VM. This VM is literally called Windows 7 Test VM. It's for testing things. That's what I did on it. I tested breaking MUGEN just now, just the same. And if you're gonna make a character and claim it's good, you might as well prove it. What do you have to lose? Like, to make other people also upload videos of the same? So what? You might as well make it, like, make proof. Because you've did it. You've done it, right? You've done it. Like with the anti-malware characters, it's like, it's also the kind of the same. Like, yeah, wow, virus detected, etc., etc. But it's only one sample. Like, the thing about antiviruses is that you kind of need to do more than just one virus. Like, that's not that much. Like, oh wow, I can block WannaCry, but then you get like one of the 50 other like ransomwares, and those don't work because like those don't get blocked. It's like, in that case, yeah, wow, you've blocked one process from running. What did you do? Did you just kill it right as it started by fucking like name? I don't know. How well would it work against everything else? Like, that's like kind of the point of anti-malware. And like in that case, you need a little bit more than that, because it's like, wow, you can kill one virus. What about the 50 others? There's a little bit more to prove in that regard. But still, it's amazing to be able to see a character kill one virus. But, you know, you don't see it do much more than that, and it's not like you can play around with it yourself either, because you don't get the character. It's private. And I can kind of see it if it's a kernel level super mega blocker application. And you don't really want people accidentally getting like random antiviruses from MUGEN characters all up on their computer. But, you know, same thing here, I guess. It's like, it's for the greater good to just not release it. Like, I can understand that. But you might as well like get a little bit more proof without releasing the character. Because then you've got evidence that what you've accomplished has actually been accomplished. Like, you just have the character like visibly doing what you say it does. It kills malware, just get a few samples, run all of them. Show us that it can actually do that. Oh, it can destroy PCs, destroy a VM. Don't just have the character in the game playing spooky animations when you say that you've just broken like multiple motherboards. Do you not just maybe like have you considered just recording that happening? Even if it's just a testing version of the character, nothing is like lost by just recording like running a test and it destroying the machine. Nothing is lost by them taking that footage off of your phone or whatever and throwing it on YouTube. Personally, I don't know how to destroy malware. I don't know that much about exploits. I know what I know, and it's fun to mess around with MUGEN. It's pretty broken. So that's kind of just what I did. I broke MUGEN. I messed around with the palettes. Derp around like that. One time I wrote loss into memory. What's the point of it all? Just to have fun, really. I just like to do it because I can. And so I do it. So I just kind of break the game. And I don't have any intention of releasing the malware character, because that would be a bad idea. I don't want someone else to, like, obtain the character. I especially don't want them to change the sprite's name and everything to look like a legitimate character. And I especially do not want that to be shared around as if it were a normal character. Because if it were, then that would be infecting people with malware, and I don't want that to happen, which is why I don't like release it in the first place, because that would just be dumb and ruining people's stuff. I like to break the game safely. Oh, and now I think it's just detected all the Mathers Brothers stuff, and here I've got a different character, which breaks the game the same way. It runs an exe file. So, to finish it all off, let's run this demo program. The character's obviously meant to be a ridiculous joke. Look at that. IP config hacker mode. Yeah, it's stupid, but yeah, it works. Does all this. What you'd expect. I like how I did the time up there. It's pretty nice. This is the actual thing. It's called hacking tool. Oh jeez, this is actually kind of big. So it runs this and just does that. Hacking complete. Thank you for waiting. Your payment of 9,000. Well, there it is. It's fun to break MUGEN. It's fun to like just use this demo program because I don't know, it's nice. I like it. Didn't make it, but still pretty neat. I think it is a pretty great full screen demo thing. So yeah, that character's meant to be like a joke and stuff, and just show how broken you can break stuff, I guess. Oh man, it's been an hour now. Well, this upload is going to suck. Sorry that it sucks. I'm gonna hope that I can try better next time. Probably mess around with some other stuff maybe, because MUGEN isn't really the most interesting thing ever. And I guess I'll just try to find something else interesting to upload, because I don't think I could really just upload an hour and 2 minutes of breaking MUGEN and all the time, because that kind of sucks. But maybe I'll find something else interesting. For now, it's been fun messing around with MUGEN, and I guess I'll see you eventually with maybe an interesting upload. This one is probably not so good. And yeah, MUGEN can be broken a lot. Thanks for watching.